I'm about to share something with you that I can pretty much guarantee no one's ever shared about their Zazzle stats before. So what I've done is pretty unique, I think, and I've grabbed 10 of some of my best-selling products on Zazzle over the last almost 5 years now, and I have put their sales into graphs. And I'm going to share each product's, like 10 of them. I'm going to share the graphs with you guys, the sales graphs. So I'm pretty excited about this. I thought this was really, really interesting. I did the exercise for myself to kind of see where my products were at and how they're doing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to share some of this data with you. And I'm interested to hear your thoughts about it as well. So let's just dive right into it. So what I did was I grabbed my sales data out of Zazzle and I manipulated the data a little bit, and I have gotten these graphs from 10 of my best-selling designs. It's not necessarily my top 10, but they are designs that have sold a fair amount over the years. So I have the pictures in front of me on my iPad, and then I will share them on the screen. Like here, I'll just scooch over. I'll share them right here on the screen. So the first one that I want to share with you is a product. So on the graph here, I've bleeped out my product ID number. The graph for every single product is going to go from April of 2019, which is when I first started on Zazzle, all the way until December of 2023. And I've put a pink line because I went back and I looked in my shops, and I've put this pink line here for when I created the product. So I think this one's a really interesting product. You can see I created this product in June of 2019, and I didn't make my first sale until December, November, October of 2020. So that's over a year. That's almost a year and a half. And I didn't make my first sale until almost a year and a half. And then that first month I made, I don't know, maybe it looks like probably one sale. And then that second month, which is, so I made it in October. No, so that second month is December, but it looks like I made 16 sales on that product in December. And then obviously January, it shoots right back down. I made a sale in February. And then again, maybe, I don't know, what is that, like May or something like that. And then again, Christmas time shoots back up. And then, it's got some sales throughout the year of 2022. And then December of 2022, Christmas time again, massive sales, over 20 sales, but nothing in 2023. So isn't that kind of interesting? So I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm curious to see if I were to go back into that product and look at my tags, maybe if I update my tags or something like that, if the product gets some life back, revived back into it. So that is pretty interesting. Let's look at the next product here. Okay, so this product, it looks like I created this product in December of 2019, and I managed to make my first sale in, January, February, March of 2020. So like 3 months into having that product live. And then it did really well. That first year, I made a bunch of sales. Well, I made over 40, maybe 50 sales that year. And then had some sales in 2021, not bad, definitely good sales in December that year. And then, or like November, I guess. And then didn't do much 2022 and nothing in 2023. So kind of interesting to see both those two products were top selling products, but really only had a lifespan of 2 to 3 years. Specifically for those products. And if I were to go back now and update some of the titles and tags, I'm curious if I could breathe new life into those products again. So that's definitely something to think about. Okay, let's look at the next product. So this product I created actually within, I looked and I said I created it May, but I created it April 28th. So pretty much like 1 month into my Zazzle journey. And I made, it looks like, one sale in 2020, in March of 2020, and then no sales until the fall of 2020. And then it started to pick up a little and then, die off a bit. And then 2022, it picked up quite a bit. Like I made quite a few sales throughout the months. So that's really interesting. And then again, it managed to make it until early 2023 and then not much in the second half of 2023. So kind of interesting. But overall, way less sales. If you look at the x-axis of this one, it has 2, 4, 6, 8, whereas the other two were on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And where was that first one? And that one went 5, 10, 15, 20. So also kind of interesting. You definitely need to be looking at that x-axis and seeing the increments that the graph is going up by. So that was the first 3. Let's look at the next product. Okay, so this one's pretty interesting because I clearly created this product very early days within my first 2 months on Zazzle, and I made one sale in that first year there. It looks like it was November of 2019. And then I didn't make a sale for almost 2 years. Yeah, for 2 years. And then I made a bunch of sales right around Christmas time of probably, I guess like December of 2021. And then I made decent sales in 2022 and a few sales in 2023. But it seems to have kind of pittered out a little bit. Oh, and that product actually, you know what? That product got a, why it made so many sales is it managed to find its way on one of those, not like a collection, but basically if you go on Zazzle on the sidebar, and I think there's a tab that says gifts or something like that. And it was in like gifts under $20 or gifts for her or something like that. It managed to find its way into one of those sections on Zazzle. And that's why it made all those sales, which is really only like 13 sales in that month of December. But yeah, it's continued to make consistent sales over the last couple of years. Which one was that? Okay, so number 5. And this one I made in December of 2020. And it made sales pretty much right away. Well, the second and third month that it was live, the third and fourth month, that it was live, it made sales and then didn't really make much sales. And then over the last 2 years here, it seems to be making consistent sales in the second half of 2022. And then pretty much all the way to present, it's been making consistent sales. Okay, this is a pretty new product to one of my newer shops. And I created this product in, I believe, September. In September of 2 years ago now, 2022. And it's done really well for considering how new it is. And I love that spike up in November and even December. It did really well of 2023. So I'm pretty excited about this product. It's a good one. So I'm excited to see how this one does over the next couple of years. Product number 7. This product was created in January of 2021, and it didn't make sales for the first few months, but then it started to make, a couple sales a month, and it's been consistently selling pretty much every month for the last year and a half. It really had a little blip in winter of 2021 to 2022. And then other than that, it's been selling pretty consistently for the last little while. So that's great. Okay, number 8. So this is another example of one that did well and then has kind of fallen off. And I'm curious to see, again, if I were to change my titles and tags and the product description and all that, if I could breathe new life into it. I should almost track that. It's just a little bit hard to track when you're making changes to products and things like that. but it would be a good idea to track that. So this product, again, I created it in my first couple months on Zazzle. It looks like my third month on Zazzle, I created it. And then no sales for almost a year. Like, actually, I think that's about a year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 months. On the 15th month, I made a sale. And then it sold, somewhat consistently for, it looks like 2 years, and then no sales in the last year and a bit. And I suspect that's because like competition has come into the marketplace and sniped my spots. But again, I would be curious to see if I were to change my titles and tags, if I could get some more sales coming in to that product. And this one is very, very similar. I actually think that this is the same product, just a different color variation. So maybe I should have done a different product, but whatever. It is what it is. Same kind of thing. Published it my first couple months, like my third month on Zazzle. Didn't make any sales for over a year, and then made consistent sales. So again, would be curious to see if I change my titles and tags, if I can get that up and running again. Okay, last product. So this is another somewhat newer product to one of my shops. I created it in October, I believe. So December, November, October of 2022. And it pretty much started generating sales right away. I mean, October is right before that winter holiday and all those sales coming in. You're just getting in time to get your products picked up in the marketplace. If you're really good with your keywords and stuff like that, you can make some good sales still, even if you wait until October to publish your products. But highly recommend getting your products posted before October, because you are going to miss out on some sales for sure. But anyways, so I managed to make 10 sales on the third month it was published. After that, I made pretty consistent sales. There's been 2 months in the last year that it hasn't made any sales. Other than that, it's made sales every month. So that's pretty good. So that's the graphs for each of the individual 10 products. So I have one more graph to show you, and I combined the sales of those 10 products into one graph to see what that would look like. And here it is. You can see those first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months has almost no sales. And then you see the sales start to pick up, and clearly I had, it's interesting actually looking at this December or November compared to the last 3 like Q4s. It's definitely not as many sales. And it's interesting because I actually made more money this Q4 than I did any other year other than 2020. But that's also because I think I was selling higher ticket items. So that's kind of interesting to look at the number of sales. And this is only 10 products. So it's also kind of hard to, I have thousands of products over all of my shops. So grabbing 10 products is not really a telling sample it's not really like a proper sample, but it's still interesting to look at. But you can see that, those 3, I'm assuming that's December's, were really good. I made lots of sales. 40. I made lots of sales in the holiday season, and then this year wasn't quite as good. And I think that's because at least 3 of the products that I showed you, the graphs had completely died off for 2023. So that was really interesting to see. So I definitely noticed some commonalities between the graphs. One for sure that stood out, which I don't think people are going to like, is how long it actually took to get a sale to start generating regular sales on some of those products. Some of those products took a year plus to generate regular sales. Some of them managed to make a sale within the first 2 to 3 months, but for the most part, it was more than that. And so a lot of you have asked questions like, how long does it take to get your first sale? And this is kind of why I'm showing you these graphs, is because this is going to give you a realistic idea, somewhat realistic because this is only 10 products, of how long it actually takes to start generating sales. And you can see sales for years. So very, very interesting. I think now some of my homework that I'm going to give for myself is I want to go back to those graphs that dropped off for the last year, year and a half, and I want to redo the titles and tags for those products and see if they will generate some sales again. I think that would be really interesting to see. Another thing that I want to do is update those product descriptions with using my product description prompt generator, because I think that with those products, they are aged, so they might have more authority. So Google might be more willing to pick them up. And then they do have sales data. So they have that proof of concept. So I think that those could actually do well in Google, given if they have the right descriptions so that Google can find them. So I'm definitely going to be updating those product descriptions as well. And then hopefully that, we can just like revive those products. If you're interested in the product description prompt generator, it is a tool where you can put your metadata into the tool and it will give you a prompt to put into like ChatGPT or any large language model AI. And the AI is going to give you pretty much like a ready to go product description that's lengthy so that Google has lots to grab onto and give that product the best chance of ranking in Google, because getting a sale from Google is going to boost you in the ranks in Zazzle, and it's just gonna give you more sales overall. So definitely check that out. The link is in the description below. You can see that if you take out kind of the blips that the holiday season is, you can kind of see like an upward trajectory a little bit, especially if you look at the lower points. Although I had a low month in October of 2023. That was a really low sales month. It's interesting that that kind of reflects that. I have one more thing that I want to add. I've received quite a few questions around how long it takes to get your first sale and how long does it take to start generating sales on Zazzle? And obviously everybody's journey is going to be different. I really can't tell you, but I grabbed the data from those product IDs that I showed the graphs for in this video, and I put it into a little spreadsheet. So I have the date that each of those products was published in this column here, and then the date of each sale in this column here. And then I've done a little subtraction in this column, which gives us the days, the number of days between those months. And then I divided these numbers by 30 here to give us the kind of timeline here of how long it took to start generating those sales. And then I added a formula in here to give the average number of months until the first sale. So on average for these 10 products, it took 8 months to generate its first sale for each product. So on average, it takes, according to these 10 products, 8 months to generate the first sale for a product on Zazzle. There is one graph that I thought was a bit of an outlier, and it's this graph here because it had its first sale a couple months in. So this is number 4. So this is this one here. It had its first sale within the first 5 months, but then it didn't have a sale again until, November of 2021. So if we change this to, November of 2021, it changes the average by another 2 months. So obviously 10 products is not enough to get a true sample of how long it really takes and a true average of how long it takes. I think you would need to look at least 50 to 100 products, but that would be a very long video. But this gives us an idea. So I would say on average, you're looking at around 8 months to make that first sale. I'm interested to know, did you enjoy this video? Because I love looking at this data. This is like, I live for it. I love looking at all the data. So if you enjoyed this kind of thing, let me know, because I can definitely do more videos like this. If you hated it, also just let me know, because then I won't do it. Did you have any kind of key takeaways from this video? I'd love to know what your insights were on these graphs and what you think of them. Do you like looking at data like I do, or do you hate looking at data? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe for more Zazzle tips. Bye.